All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I'm going to go over how to multiply and divide integers. Now, the beautiful thing about multiplying and dividing integers is that they have the same exact rules. So there are only two rules, so that's the nice thing about this. The first rule is whenever you're multiplying or dividing integers that have the same sign, your answer is going to be positive. Anytime you're multiplying or dividing integers that have different signs, your answer is going to be negative. Okay, so those are literally the only two rules that go with multiplying and dividing integers. Now, there are a couple things on here to kind of help you out with that. I have a chart here that has multiplying and dividing integer rules. So a positive times a positive is a positive because they're the same sign, the answer is positive. A positive divided by a positive is a positive. Again, same sign, positive answer. A negative times a negative is a positive. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. So again, these were same signs and they ended up being positive as their answer. Now, if we had different signs, a positive times a negative gives us a negative. A positive divided by a negative gives us a negative. Again, different signs here make it a negative answer, okay? Here, a negative times a positive gives us a negative. A negative divided by a positive gives us a negative. Different signs, negative answer. Now, here's a quick little trick to kind of help you. I call this like a little tic-tac-toe chart. So all you would have to do is draw a little tic-tac-toe board, and I would draw positive signs going diagonally, and then everything else you would fill in with negative signs. Now, what this tells us is a positive times a negative gives us a negative, or a positive divided by a negative gives us a negative. A negative times a positive is a negative. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. A negative times a negative is a positive, or a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So it literally tells us what the answer is, whether it's going to be positive or negative. So you can just literally follow through and it will tell you there. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and practice. Looking at example number 1, it says 9 times negative 3. So we have a positive times a negative. They are different signs. So our answer is going to be negative, and 9 times 3 is 27. For our next one, 8 divided by negative 2, we have a positive divided by a negative. Again, different signs. So our answer is going to be negative. 8 divided by negative 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 7. So here we have a negative times a negative. And if I use my little trick, a negative times a negative gives us a positive. And 4 times 7 is 28. So it'd be positive. Negative 36 divided by negative 6. Again, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. 6 can go into 36 6 times, so we would have a positive 6. Negative 8 times 3. Again, a negative times a positive is going to give us a negative, and 8 times 3 is 24. And for our last one, a negative divided by a positive, negative 42 divided by 7. 7 can go into 42 6 times, and because we have two different signs, our answer is negative. So just to recap, same signs are positive, different signs are negative. And again, it doesn't matter whether you're multiplying or dividing. Those are the rules for it. Now, these rules only apply for multiplying and dividing. So don't try to use this trick for adding or subtracting because it will not work.